Returning to you with my creepypasta fan fiction, Jeff the Killer love story. It's called Sweet Insanity. Lacey's point of view. I was sitting in the room with Mary. We were getting ready to go off to bed. As we laid down and started to sleep, she spoke. Dad's not going to push it tonight, but he will in the morning, she said all of a sudden. I know, Mary. Don't worry. I won't leave out any details, I promised her. We lay down and drifted off to sleep. Jeff's point of view. I watched and waited as they fell asleep. Jeff, if she tells, Ben started, and I stopped him by snapping, Don't worry, she'll never come back here again, I swear it. Anger rising in my voice. I kept watching as my plans started forming in my head. Ben, I need your help, I said. He looked shocked. In all the years we've worked together, I've never said those words. Yeah, man, name it, anything, he replied. I need the house moved so deep into the woods she can never find her way back. I told him, It's already done, man. He said, and he vanished. I opened the window and crept inside and put my knife onto the other girl's neck. I didn't know her name, but she was close to my smile, so I used it to my advantage. I put my hand over my sweet smile's mouth, waking her. I looked at her, and then to the other girl. She's understood all too well. Slowly, she got up, and I moved my hand, but not my knife. Please, no, not Mary, please, she begged me. I couldn't help but get hard at her begging to me. You better stay quiet and come with me, and not try anything. You're already in big trouble for running away from me, I whispered. She looked at me and nodded. What do you want me to do? She asked. The window, now, I demanded. She obeyed as she climbed out the window into the night. I followed her and pushed her into the woods. We walked in quiet for some time. I couldn't hold back anymore. I pushed her into a tree, pinning her down, thinking back to what Ben had been telling me about how I could not kill her, but I wanted to rip her apart. Ripped her apart. How I wanted her there with me, but I wanted to tear her into small little pieces and keep them on my walls. He was right. I loved her. Standing there, holding her down, said everything. What is your name? Your whole name? I must know. Tell me now, I demanded. Nina Mary Jo Carston, but everyone calls me Lacey. Mary started it when we were kids in kindergarten, she said calmly. Well, I don't like Lacey. I hate it, in fact. Nina is a much better name for your beautiful smile. I looked at her and started smiling, whispering her sweet name, testing it. Nina. Nina, my sweet, sweet Nina. I looked back at her. Nina, you are mine now. If you ever go back, I will kill her and bring you back anyway. These woods are your home now. By my side is where you'll sleep forever. I told her and pinned her close. No matter what, you're mine forever, all of you, I declared and gripped her breast in the front of her jeans where her pussy was underneath. She gasped. No, please don't, she begged, pulling her close, gripping her ass and hugging her tight. I won't not here, my sweet Nina. I love you so much. I gripped her face, kissing her deeply. She tried to bite me back, but only failing, letting me stick my tongue into her mouth. She tried to fight me a little bit more, but after I won, she gave in and started kissing me back. It felt so good I didn't want to stop. I pushed back, pinning her to the tree again. We were still kissing. I knew I had to stop before it was too late. Then I saw the bag Ben had left behind for me. I pulled away, looking at her. She was so sexy. I wanted her then and there, but I knew I couldn't. It would have been wrong. You need to change into this. Put this on. I handed her the bag. She opened it and pulled out a white mini skirt with chains and a belt. spiked belt, and a lace-flowered see-through t-shirt. "Look away," she said. "Why?" I asked. "I feel odd dressing in front of someone," she replied. I turned around, feeling dumb I had to turn away from what was mine. "Well, you might want to get over it. I will be undressing you soon, so you better hurry," I declared. I waited for about 2 minutes, then I heard, "I'm done. I'm done." I turned around. I was right. The lace made her look so sexy. The stocking and the knee-high boots. The black lace stockings and the chains on her knee-high boots suited her well. My smile widened up to full length. I'm wide and full length. "I'm not going to let you fuck me ever," she declared. I laughed at that, bending her over and pressing myself onto her. "Do whatever I want, Nina." I pulled her up, hugging her from behind. "You're not my girlfriend. You're not my lover, but more. You're my smile, my heart, my life. You're everything to me, so never think I don't love you," I said, and I took her hand and blindfolded her and started leading her to our home. We went so deep into the woods that I knew by now that we were past the portal to the lines of the world. And I looked back to know she was now immortal, standing with me forever. I smiled at that, holding her. What did you think of the blood walls of your bedroom?" I asked her. I could feel her body tense up. "So that really was blood?" I squeezed her hand gently. "Yes." "Why are you shocked?" I asked, with a slight giggle in my voice. She sighed. "Well, because all I know about you is that you kill people like it's a game," she replied. I was thinking on this. She had never once seen me before I killed her dad. She just woke up in our house. "I'm sorry," I told her. "I'm Jeff the killer." As I stopped in front of our house, I turned to her, pulling her close, removing her blindfold. "I love you so much, Nina. I am never letting you go. All week you were asleep. I was worried you wouldn't make it. I kept threatening Jack that if you died, I'd rip him apart. Your breathing was always heavy and unsteady, and I was really worried about you. I loved you more and more each day as I watched you sleep, to the point at which I could no longer stay away from you. So I made our house, so you can live with me forever." I told her, my forehead on hers. Her blueberry scent, it made me harder than her begging. I pushed myself on the outside of her jeans. She gasped. It was cute. I couldn't stop anymore. I picked her up and carried her into my room. It was a big bloody mess. A really bad bloody mess. Blood was everywhere, and I didn't care. I laid her in the pool of blood that was on my bed and started kissing her. She held me so tight, and I held her back. Then she started sobbing. "Why are you sobbing?" I smiled. "My mommy," she whispered to me. "It's okay," I smiled. I whispered in her. She cuddled up next to me and cried. And I lay there holding her. She cried for hours and hours. I held her until she cried herself to sleep that night. Nina's point of view. I woke up in his arms. I didn't want to wake him. For a killer, he's sweet and gentle. Almost like a dog displaying who's boss. So sweet. I giggled at that. "Hey, what's so funny?" someone asked. I opened my eyes to see a kid, goggles on his face, over his eyes, and a mouthpiece that distorted his voice. and a bloody, bloody hatchet. It was him, the guy from the cabin, the one who hacked up Marcy. I jumped up screaming, and Jeff pushed me behind him, looking around. "Why, you dirty little girl!" Sorry about that. "Why, you dirty little pervert, peeping on my girl. Even Slendy can't help you now." Jeff bellowed and pulled out a knife, starting for him. "Well, gotta go. Nice meeting you," he said, and he vanished. "Who was that?" I asked Jeff. He was talking to himself. "That fucker is dead. Fucking dead," he was yelling out. I walked over to him and started shaking him harder. Harder than really was needed. But to be frank, I was paying him back for last night. It's sort of cute. Last night he said he'd rape me if he wanted. Watching him now, I see he won't. He was bluffing. He's too sweet. Still shaking him. He yelled, "Stop shaking me!" I fell over laughing. It was so funny. As he watched me, he started giggling. I looked at him, at his smile. Looked over at him, and his smile was so sweet and kind. I tried to stop laughing, but only managed to keep giggling. He turned around and picked up something. "What's that?" I asked, wondering. He said nothing, still giggling. I got up and tried to peek and was met with a splash of something red and knew immediately it was blood. The outfit that he had me wear last night was completely ruined, which was fine by me. I didn't like it in the first place. He busted into insane laughter and started smearing blood all over the walls. I toppled over, dying in laughter, and we died in laughter together. And I got up to find a bathroom and changed. I got up to find a bathroom and to change my clothes. He looked worried and grabbed my wrist. "Don't try to run again. I don't want to do what I had to do last night," he said. I smiled at him. For some weird reason, I really don't want to," I replied with a giggle. He let go of me. "Into the hall," he said, and turned away, walking towards his bed. "Now, how do I make that Toby pay peeping on my woman?" He started talking. I looked around to see no one. I left it be and walked to the end of the hallway. I opened the door and realized it was the same room I first woke up in. I felt around for a light and found it. Wow, it was huge. The walls were covered in more blood than the rest of the house, and the queen-size bed was draped with white silk sheets and a thick white comforter with red roses and a lily pattern. I wondered if it was okay for me to be in here, and then I saw my answer. Over to the right, on a mirror dresser, makeup, and little heart trinket boxes, there was a jar with a human heart inside. Beside it, there was a note. "For my smile, love, Jeff." I looked around and saw the oak dresser and pulled it open and gawked in disgust at the pile of lace panties and silk thongs and a couple of bras that were too tight but not too small. And in almost every color. "Oh my God, what a fucking perv," I said out loud as I slammed the door shut. The next was all normal daily wear. Off-shoulder t-shirts, tank tops, and a few sweaters. The same thing was with the pants. There was a couple shorts, but nothing major. Shoes and socks were basically the same. Everything was like he wanted me to dress the way I always do. I grabbed some jeans and a tank top and walked around the room to look for the bathroom. I opened the door off to the side and opened it. It was just a plain old bathroom, of course, except for the tub. It was huge. I looked at the marble dark blue tub. I am really starting to think that the week that I was unconscious, almost dead, he was thinking of ways to get in my pants. I said after I was done dressing, after I was done with my bath and I was dressed as plain as I could, I started to reach for the plug in the bathtub, and then I heard someone say, "Finally, I thought you'd never get dressed." And he climbed into the window. "What the?" I started, but he put his hand over my mouth. "Be quiet, it's just a prank on Jeff. I want to know what he'll do," he giggled. Chapter 7. The Prank. Jeff's point of view. It's been, well, yeah, okay, sorry, I had a scroll on my tablet. Jeff's point of view. It's been quiet way too long. I get up and go to her room, and I walked in, not caring if she would be mad if I saw her naked. But she wasn't there. I saw the bloody clothes in the bath still full, and I know, hoping that she just wanted to go for a walk in the woods. I know how she loves to do that randomly. She doesn't even tell anyone, she just leaves a note. I picked up the note and began reading it. "You want her back? Come and get her." I could feel the blood boiling me as I blacked out from rage. Nina's point of view. The boy Jeff called Toby was giggling non-stop since he had taken me. I have to say, I want to know what he would do if I was ever taken in real danger. Plus, there's still last night I'm mad about, though. I do think he will make up. I'm still mad about last night, though. I do think this will make up for what he did to me last night. "So you're Toby, right?" I asked him. Then all of a sudden I hear a deep voice. "Yes, he is. My third proxy. Also a very, very bad prankster," said a man without a face, tall and skinny. His head almost touched the ceiling at 8 feet. He had about 5 tentacles out of his back. "I am Slender Man. I am the leader of this group of misfits, but only the second oldest of my 3 brothers. I looked him up and down. He was wearing a all-black tuxedo with a white vest shirt and a black bow tie. "So you're Slendy. I like your tux," I said. He gave a thank you in a more sarcastic tone. Turning to Toby, picking him up by the back of his shirt. "You have gone too far, even for you. Laughing Jack, the one who always helps you with your pranks, thinks this is a bad idea," he bellowed out at Toby. I stepped in. I know it was a bad idea, but I agreed to go along with it, so I am also guilty. "Hey, wait, it was my idea. I wanted to meet everyone, and Toby wanted to pull a prank, so I went along with what he had in mind. It sucks. No one was here, though. I had said. Slendy did what must have been a facepalm. "Great, now there's 2 of you," he sighed. "Well, let's go." He teleported to Jeff, who was torturing some poor guy. It felt really bad as I could see the blood dripping out of his wounds where Jeff had been stabbing him over and over and over again, screaming, "Where is she? Where is she?" I ran, worried about the guy. I ran up to Jeff and hugged him from behind. He whipped around, holding me tight and then pushing me behind him. Are you okay, he asked. Yes, I answered. It was just a prank. I wanted to meet your friends and Toby wanted to prank you, so I went along with it. I am sorry. I made you worry. I just wanted to get you back for last night, and we just wanted to see what you would do. I know he was angry at me by the look in his face, but even more so at Toby. He did pull that stunt this morning. I guess 2 pranks in one day was a really bad idea. He kissed me on my lips, whispering in my ear, I'll talk to you later. Then he turned to Toby. Toby, you fucking fuck dick. Why my woman, huh? He screamed in rage as he walked over to Toby and started punching him ruthlessly. As I see blood running out of his face. She is mine, Toby, mine! Toby only put up a guard to try and block some of the blows. Okay, no more pranks about kidnapping your wife, he promised. Wait, wife? Where did that come from? I thought. I only have a crush on him, but that's it. He's so sweet and kind, and his smile, I love it. I've loved it from the moment I first saw it. And? Said Slendy. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry, Jeff. Toby spat out blood. Wow, Jeff can really throw a punch. Leave him beaten and bloody. Slendy picked up Toby out of the reach of Jeff and pushed Jeff back with one of his tentacles. I can see now that he actually has more than 5 tentacles. I wonder how many he actually has. Jeff, why don't you go on a run and blow off some steam? How's that sound? Jeff stopped and looked at Slendy. What are the rules? He asked Slendy. Only 1, 2, and 44. Deal? He asked Jeff. Jeff looked at him. Deal, he replied. He walked over to me, hugging me back. Are you okay? I asked him. Yes, my sweet mile. He let go, walking over to Slendy. Where to, Jeff? Slendy asked him. Japan, he replied. And he was gone, vanished out of mid-air, but Slendy was still there. I started to think about what Toby said about me being married to Jeff. I laughed at this thought. I barely even know him. Why would I marry him? I laughed. I don't know how I feel. I know I don't love him. Then, at the same time, I don't want to leave his side. As night fell, I reached the house where Jeff keeps taking me back to. I walked in to see Ben, and I know he's here to babysit me. Slendy sent you on a babysitting duty, didn't he? I asked. He looked up at me. Just like Jeff, he replied. I don't know how to respond. What? He asked. I asked. He turned and looked at me. Just like Jeff, thinking I'm here to obey Slendy. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great leader and all, but Jeff and I have known each other for 17 years, killed together for 17 years. And in that 17 years, the only thing he asked me was to move this house to a safe hiding place. He told me. I was shocked. I couldn't help it. So Jeff's 17 like me? I asked eagerly. He busted out laughing. Oh no, he's 19 years old. And trust me when I say you are the hottest of all the girls I've ever seen him with. The smartest too. None of the others were smart enough to sneak out. While everybody thought one of them was hurt so badly. A lot of them were dumbasses and fell downstairs or some shit like that. Typical girls. He laughed out loud. I sat down on the coffee brown leather sofa. I was thinking about what Ben said. He's older than me. I didn't know this know this, but I liked it. And the fact that he was with other girls before me made me feel weird. I don't know why. We're just dating. It's not that big of a deal, and I've only known her for, like, what, a few days? All of a sudden, I could hear... Hold on, I'm sorry. I sat there thinking about how I felt about him. I have a crush on him, don't get me wrong. He's super, super hot, and super, super hot. All of a sudden, I hear yelling. I jump from Ben and say, "Hey, you in there?" he asked. Yes, yes, I stammered out. Look, I'm not here because anybody asked me to be here. I'm here because he really likes you, and I want to make sure I want to make sure you don't hurt him and you don't get hurt. Do you understand? Yeah, I understand, I replied. Hey, it's been 4 hours and 44 minutes. Turn on the news. He told me. Now I get it. The 44 rule. I replied and turned on the TV. I watched as a reporter reported a killer loose in Japan. Long black hair down to the bottom of his back. A carved-in smile, a white hoodie, stained in blood, and black dress pants. His face was white with burned eyes, as if his eyelashes had no eyelids. As if he had no eyelids. Then all of a sudden she was knocked down and I saw Jeff laughing. With such insanity. It terrified me deep inside. In front of the camera he cut her like he cut me that night when I first met him. When he tried to kill me. But for some reason he didn't. And now I know why. I grabbed my arms where the cuts were still there. The reporter was screaming and hollering and fighting, and she was kicking Jeff over and over again, and she pulled out a knife from her purse and stabbed him. Oh, you're no fun. Oh well, time for you to go to sleep, he said, and the camera went black. I stared at the black screen. That is the end of chapter 7. This was a little bit longer than intended, but I do hope that you did enjoy it. And if you'll like, comment, subscribe, or dislike, I know that happens. I'm no stranger to criticism. But I do hope you enjoy it, and as soon as I write the next chapters, I will gladly post them. Thank you for watching my sweet insanity.